Hello, welcome back to the Wrestling Newsroom. I'm your host, All Things Wrestling, and today we're going to be looking at all the wrestling news from Sunday. We start with Kofi Kingston talked about the New Day's creative decisions with Vince McMahon. He said, from the very inception of New Day, we told Vince McMahon no matter what he gave us, we'd be able to make it work because we believe in the chemistry we had. Going back and forth with Vince, we had very different ideas of what we wanted to be. The idea he came back with, we said, okay, he's really going to test us on this guarantee we gave him of making anything work, but we just kept doing it and we evoked a lot of emotion from people, and really that was what it was all about. Eventually we kind of got to do what we first wanted, and over time it turned into what it is now. Well, there you go. Bruce our dynamic duo. And then WWE's latest SEC filing noted that WWE currently have 915 employees, excluding wrestlers, because they are classed as independent contractors. So that's like TV people and in-house production, catering, all that kind of general stuff. That's a pretty impressive number. And then, again, in this whole same thing, they noted what properties they own at least. Corporate offices in Stamford is owned. Warehouse space in Norwalk CT is leased until January 2020. Production facilities, office and warehouse space is owned. Corporate offices in Stamford, Connecticut is a different one. There's like two corporate offices. That's a smaller one. It is leased until 2023. Performance Center in Orlando, Florida is leased until November 2020, and UK Performance Center is leased until 2028. Damn. And the last thing they did is, on this filing, they talked about the importance of Vince McMahon, saying, the unexpected losses of Vince Kennedy McMahon could adversely affect our ability to create popular characters and create storylines, or could otherwise adversely affect our operating results. In addition to serving as chairman of the board and chief executive officer, Mr. McMahon leads a creative team that developed the storylines and characters from our programming. This includes our television, WWE Network, and other programming, and live events. From time to time, Mr. McMahon has also been an important member of our cast of performers. The loss of Vince McMahon due to unexpected retirement, disability, death, or otherwise unexpected termination for any reason could have minor effects on our ability to create popular characters and create storylines, or could otherwise adversely affect our operating results. Mr. McMahon has established, goes on to talk about stupid football, XFW, XFL. But yeah, it's very important apparently. But let's move on from WWE stuff for a minute. We now have more WWE stuff. But this is more about wrestling. It has now been announced that at Elimination Chamber, Ruby Riott will go against Ronda Rousey. Great. Moving swiftly on, it has now been announced that Nia Jax will face Dean Ambrose in a house match. So it's going to happen on February 22nd. We'll have to wait and see what happens. Then, some Impact news. On April 4th, which will be United We Stand, former Impact Wrestling champion Rob Van Dam will team with Sabu to face the Lucha Brothers. Guys, you're way past the prime. Good on your Impact. Nothing changes. Then, it is good to report that Ty Dillinger is now cleared to compete for the first time since October. He tweeted, yes, I still wrestle. I actually started back tonight. Thrilled tonight's SmackDown branded house show is taking place in NIU, someplace in Illinois. So he's had a hand injury, so he's now back in action. Also, Twitter, someone said, would you go back to NXT if possible? And he just wrote, tried. I want him to go back. Then it's announced that in April Crockett Cup event, Marty Scurll will take on Nick Aldis for the NWA title, which will be pretty good. Both guys are fantastic. Then Fenix is injured. He was injured yesterday, I believe. 8th or 9th of February, he was injured. He and his brother Pentagon defeated AR Fox and Maroon Reed to win the AAW tag titles. But he injured himself during the spot. He suffered a stinger, which I believe is like a shoulder nerve injury. We have had an update on this. He has now been released from hospital and is just with a muscle contusion. He is feeling good and will be back to 100% after some rest. So he's slightly injured, but he should be back in a couple of weeks, which is very, very good. And that is all the wrestling news I have for today. As always, if you have enjoyed this, please give it a like. Please support me on Patreon. A link in the description below. Subscribe for more content, and I'll catch you later. Bye.